Okay, so things I want to point out why your car is consuming more fuel. Because I know most people might not even know about this. It's about your electronics. Your electronics can actually increase fuel consumption on your vehicle. It doesn't mean it will be excessive fueling. That's to the point that it will be bringing out black smoke. But definitely will consume more than it should. The more electronics that you power on your vehicle, or you introduce on your vehicle, like aftermarket ones that are not factory, the more you do that, the more fuel it consumes. And how does it do that? And that is by dragging your alternator. What people don't understand is the more load you place on the alternator, the more it drags the alternator. The more it drags the alternator as it's spinning, the more it drags the engine in the process. Remember, the auxiliary belt, which is attached on the crankshaft pulley, is being driven. It drives the alternator pulley. So when the alternator starts to drag, engine will have to struggle a little bit more to pull it as it's dragging. So in that case, yeah, anything that makes the engine to struggle a little bit more is increasing fuel consumption. So I always use this analogy, which is very easy for anybody to understand, and that is your generator. For those who live like in Africa, when you power in a generator, like Nigeria specifically, if you start your generator, your house generator, that you power your house with, you realize that the more bulbs you put on, you switch on, you could hear your generator sound will be changing, depending on the capacity, of course, of the generator. The more gadgets you power, put on your TV, put on your stuff, put up your fridge. As you are doing that, you see your AC, your generator the sound will be changing, you see the light also will be dropping a little. You might start to shake. You power your AC, same thing. Well, like I said, it all depends on the capacity of the alternator, the generator, yes. So all that will have effect on the amount of fuel generator consumes at that time. All those things are you are powering, the engine sound is changing. So if you keep powering, I get to a point the generator might even go off, which is the engine itself. The engine mechanical, that's the engine side of the generator. So because the generator has an engine, then the electronic part is what now generates the electricity as the engine is spinning. So same thing applies to the automobiles or vehicles. So you introduce aftermarket subwoofer to your vehicle, yes, it's going to increase the fuel consumption. It might not be that much, it might not be significant enough for you to notice, but it will be there. You pour your AC, put on your headlights, add more headlight. Maybe if your headlight is supposed to have one bulb, you put two bulbs. If you're supposed to have only one globe, you add one more globe. You add all this aftermarket fog lamp, whatever you add. Put TV on your vehicle, put fridge on your vehicle. All these things will tell on your fuel consumption. So the only thing I would say here is if the engine capacity is big enough, you might not actually notice some of these minor electronics when they are on, because the bigger engines usually comes with higher capacity alternators. So the capacity of the alternator matters. For example, the 150 amps will be able to handle certain loads compared to 70 amps alternator. So most times all these smaller engines, lower powered engines, the more things you put load on those vehicles, the more it consumes, because the alternator is usually not that much, except any alternator that has about, for example, an automobile modern one that has less than 70, or even 70 amps will struggle to increase more fuel if you start loading stuff. In fact, at a point your alternator may not be able to charge your battery anymore. The more gadgets you introduce on the vehicle, except the factory one that we have already factored in with the capacity of the alternator. So I'm just saying now, those who may not also understand, one of the reasons why your car fuel consumption goes high when you bypass your engine cooling fan system or abuse your engine cooling system is not necessarily because there's no thermostat. You see that electric fan that is mounted before or after your radiator, whichever one. That fan, you'll be surprised that once that fan comes up, especially on higher speed, it consumes more fuel than even the compressor running. Let's assume the compressor is running without the fan. Trust me, the fan will even consume more light. I've actually done that test. For OC services, I don't know, I can't tell about other EW engines, you start, let's say at night, maybe your car might do that. Power it at night, start your vehicle at night when weather, especially now that the weather is not always cold, a little bit warm. Though we are almost in Harmattan now, so I think it may not be the best time. Harmattan is usually cold. So put on your car, start it, put on your headlights, then power your AC, put on your AC. You see that when you put on your AC, just be looking at the headlight. When you're sitting inside your car, just be looking toward, where your headlight is pointing. You power your AC, you might see the headlight even if it will dim, it just be a little. You might not notice that it drops that kind of dim a little when you power the AC. Then wait. At that time, the low fan might not come up. Then maybe after a second or two, the fan will come up and start spinning a little. Then you notice the light might dim a little. So when the fan is running at low speed with the AC running, the headlight might still be okay. But as soon as that high speed fan comes up, pay attention to the headlight that time. Immediately you see your headlight will dim. It will just dim, very pronounced. Then the high speed will run. Immediately the high speed goes off and go back to the low speed, you see the headlight will become much brighter again. The fan alone, so for the headlight to dim means the alternator at that time is dragging the alternator. Just because the fan speed has increased, it has placed more load on the alternator, it's drawing more, we call it current or whatever. So it's dragging it. So because of that now, it's also affecting the engine. You can also tell the sound of engine will also change. The engine EC will try to correct the idle of the engine so that it doesn't go up. So it might even go up. You notice your idle might go up a little. The idle speed will go up a little when the high speed fan is running. Then when the high speed fan goes up, then it drops back to so it's just meaning that if you abuse your engine cooling system, know that it's not just because you remove your fan, because the fan is constantly cooling the cooling system. That's your coolant, your radiator, your engine. That's why, which will now make your coolant temperature to be low. The lower the coolant temperature, the higher the fuel consumption. So it's not just that. The fact that that fan is spinning at high speed at that time is drawing more current from the alternator. So in that case, it's dragging the alternator. So it will make the alternator not to spin faster. so it will reduce the spinning, but then the crankshaft will keep spinning it. In that case, as it's doing that, it's also making the crankshaft pulley to drag a little, so I have to keep spinning or driving the alternator pulley. In that case, the engine will need more energy to be able to maintain the normal RPM at idle. Your fuel consumption will go up. But so imagine we now run it direct to always stay on that high speed all the time. Yeah, fuel consumption will always stay high. And what do you expect? So that's why they design all these things. Not to always, the fan not to always stay on, especially on that high speed. So yeah, when you use AC, your cooling fan will stay on most of the time, which of course will also have effect on your fuel consumption, but not as much as when the fan is now spinning very high. Yeah, it will now start dragging. So all these things, but like I said, most times when if it's a bigger engine, for example V6, it won't have as much as effect as for a 4-cylinder when you put most of these guys, especially the engine has enough power to be able to still run, run the alternator even when it's dragging without affecting the engine that much. As it's dragging the engine, it won't really affect it. The power is there. But the lower engines, the more you put out those man, the more you are doing that. Maybe you might, I don't know, probably if you upgrade the alternator to a higher capacity, I can't say for sure, it might have less effect. So that means it might drag it less. I don't know for sure, but most likely it will happen. But I'm just saying generally, the more gadgets you put on electronically, yeah, it's gonna drag the alternator is going to. So don't think it's only your compressor that is making your fuel consumption to be a little bit higher when you are using AC. Trust me, most times it's the fan that isn't making this thing, not necessarily the compressor. I'm not saying compressor doesn't drag your crankshaft pulley as well. So I'm just saying alternator also contributes to that. So don't abuse your cooling fan, your blower as well. That's why I don't like the idea of using this automatic setting. It's there, but I don't use it. You start the vehicle, you come up the AC blower or the heating ventilation system come up on auto mode. If the inside is very hot, it will start blowing very hot, very high speed, then it will regulate itself and later bring it down when the exterior is a little bit warmer or cooler. I don't even bother. I just immediately it comes, I just reduce it immediately. I don't wait for that. All this is also affecting your dragging your alternator. One of the reasons why I don't even do that, not necessarily because of fuel consumption, it's just that the more you do it, the more you burn your resistor that controls the fan, your relay that controls the resistor that controls the blower, the relay that controls the blower, depending on the model, it will burn it, or burn the connector, or your blower will burn, all those things, or the fuse will cut at some point. The wire connectors might melt. So that's why I don't bother doing that. Once I sort it, I reduce it. I told you guys how I operate when it comes to AC. If the inside is very hot, I lower the windows. Something entered my eyes. But I don't know what I touched. Okay. So when the vehicle, if I park my car under a sun, direct sun, sun is hitting it, I first open the doors, both front doors, or the four of them, depending on the type, body type, leave them open for 2-3 minutes or so before I drive out. In that case, I don't need to even lower my windows. So just to point out why abuses affect your fuel consumption, increase it, and also even when you don't abuse your car, but you just want to have more electronics on your vehicle, put on your headlight, put on your even wiper. You see there's this wiper blade, it's raining, you put on your wiper blade, it's also increasing your fuel consumption. People don't know, that's why they even did that mode, so that sometimes it stays off when it's not needed. Then when the speed of the rain increases, then it start wiping again, stuff like that. These are the things they try to use to reduce fuel consumption even when it's raining. It's up to you. I don't use the auto mode most time. It depends. Sometimes I use it, but sometimes I don't. I just manually operate it. The point is, now you know. Like I said, after all, I installed a subwoofer on my coupe, this particular one I'm sitting in recently. So I know, that it might have effect on my fuel consumption. I'm okay with that. But I know it won't be that much. But like I said, I'm not operating out of ignorance. I know. But some people might not really want, if they know that it's a fuel consumption, they wouldn't want to. That if it increases it, of course. So now you know, so that you won't start to look surprised when you now notice your consumption has gone up a little. It might be insignificant for you to notice. I'm not saying it's not going to be as expected or as it used to before you put down installation electronic gadget in your vehicle. Okay, so headlight bulbs also increases it. Like I said, depending halogen, all those ones, but the newer systems now, LED, xenon, all those ones, they consume less. They don't add much load on the alternator. So yeah, it's supposed to, but it depends if your wiring system will accept them or if they are factory. So okay, so like this video, subscribe to the channel, and watch out for more videos. All right.